各位记者朋友，大家下午好。
Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. First of all, I'd like to announce that Vice President Han Zheng on September 17th will attend the 22nd China-ASEAN Expo and China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit to be held in Nanning, Guangxi, and address the opening ceremony. Foreign leaders and senior officials, including Prime Minister of Myanmar, Aung San Suu, Vice President of the Lao PDR, Bhutan, Chit Mani, Cambodia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister in charge of the Council of Ministers, Visov, Malaysia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy Transition and Water Transformation, Yusof, and Deputy Prime Minister of Vietnam, Mai Van Chin, as well as Secretary General of ASEAN, Kai Chim Hung, will attend the opening ceremony. Now, the floor is open. CCTV, what's China's expectation for the 22nd China-ASEAN Expo? ASEAN is a priority in China's neighborhood diplomacy and a key region in high-quality Belt and Road cooperation. Under the strategic guidance of leaders of the two sides, China and ASEAN have continuously deepened practical cooperation in various fields and sustained sound momentum in economic and trade exchanges. China has been ASEAN's largest trading partner since 2009, and the two sides have been each other's largest trading partners for 5 consecutive years. Trade between the two sides reached $686.78 billion from January to August this year, up by 8.6% year-on-year. As of July this year, our two-way investment have exceeded $450 billion. Last May, China and ASEAN completed version 3.0 China-ASEAN Free Trade Area upgrade negotiations. We look forward to signing the protocol within this year. The China-ASEAN Expo is an important platform for deepening China-ASEAN cooperation and advancing regional economic integration. This year's Expo is themed Digital Intelligence and Innovation Empower Development, leveraging China-ASEAN FTA 3.0 new opportunities for an even closer China-ASEAN community with a shared future. China stands ready to work with ASEAN countries to leverage the role of the Expo, take the building of the FTA 3.0 as an opportunity to further expand trade and mutual investment, unlock the potential of practical cooperation in various fields, build up consensus on opening multilateralism and free trade, achieve mutually beneficial cooperation at a higher level, and build an even closer China-ASEAN community with a shared future. Next one, please. China Daily, we noted that Foreign Minister just concluded his visits to Austria, Slovenia, and Poland. Could you share more details with us? From September 12th to 16th, upon invitation, Foreign Minister Wang Yi visited these 3 countries that you mentioned. While in Austria, Foreign Minister met with Austrian Federal President van der Bellen and held talks with Foreign Minister Mein Riesinger. When visiting Slovenia, Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with Slovenia President, Prime Minister Robert Golob, and the President of the National Council, and held talks with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign and European Affairs Fajon. During his visit to Poland, he met with Polish President Nawrocki and held talks and jointly chaired the 4th meeting of the China-Poland Intergovernmental Committee with Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sirowski. Through these visits, the cooperation has been consolidated. Friendship between China and relevant European countries have also been consolidated. And these meetings produced fruitful results. First, deepening bilateral relations. Foreign Minister Wang Yi said that China stands ready to strengthen strategic communication with the three countries, deepen green cooperation between China and Austria, expand practical cooperation between China and Slovenia, and the Belt and Road cooperation between China and Poland, so as to strengthen people-to-people exchanges. China and Poland also issued joint documents of China-Poland Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee's fourth plenary meeting. Foreign Minister Wang Yi also said that China and the EU should be friends instead of rivals, should cooperate together instead of confront with each other. We hope the three countries will play a positive role to help EU foster an objective and reasonable perception on China and gives a boost to steady growth of China-EU ties. Leaders of the three countries attach great importance to their relations with China. They stand ready to maintain high-level exchanges with the Chinese side. They stress that China and the EU are friends and should strengthen constructive dialogue on cooperation. The three countries all welcome Chinese companies to do business in Europe. Second, they carry forward the correct view of the Second World War. Foreign Minister Wang Yi stressed that this year marks the 80th anniversary of the World Anti-Fascist War. The Chinese people made great sacrifice for the victory of the theater in Asia of the Second World War and the Anti-Fascist War. We made great contributions, and we need to uphold the victorious outcomes of the Second World War, including the restoration of Taiwan to China. And some Taiwan independence separatist forces tried to cede the country and destroy the post-World War international order. Their attempts are doomed to fail. Leaders of the three countries all spoke highly of the great sacrifice and great contributions of the Chinese people on the Second World War and to affirm their commitment to the One China policy. Foreign Minister Wang Yi stressed that as unilateralism is rising, bullying practices are abundant. China and the EU should jointly oppose that. President Xi Jinping put forward the Global Development Initiative in order to reform and improve the global governance system, which meets the expectation of the international community. China stands ready to strengthen solidarity with other countries, uphold the international system with the United Nations at its core, and build a more just and fair global governance system. Leaders from Austria and Slovenia spoke highly of China's achievements as well as responsibility as a major country. They welcome the Global Development and Governance Initiative put forward by China. They stand ready to work with China to uphold the authority of the United Nations and make contributions to world peace and development. Next one, please.
Good afternoon. Question from AFP. 法新社，中国的海警称，菲律宾的船只故意的冲撞了中方船只。之前，中方表示菲律宾的船只非法的侵闯了黄岩岛的领海，中方对此有何评论？
黄岩岛
Huangyan has always been China's territory. The Philippines sent several vessels to intrude into the waters of Huangyan, which severely violated China's sovereignty and rights and interests, severely disrupted peace and stability at sea. China has taken necessary measures in accordance with law to safeguard our territorial sovereignty and maritime rights and interests, which is beyond reproach. Facts have proven once again that the Philippines' deliberate infringement and provocations at sea are the root cause of the tensions. The Philippines should at once stop its infringement and provocation and not challenge China's firm resolve in safeguarding its legitimate rights and interests. Next one, please.
Another question from AFP.
法新社， 美国总统特朗普表示，他将在周五同习主席通话。贝森特财长也在马德里进行了确认 TikTok 问题已经达成了相关协议。周五，两国元首将会在通话中做出决定。你能否确认周五两国元首将进行通话？中方对此有何评论以及有何期待？
元首外交
Head of state diplomacy plays an irresponsible strategic guiding role on bilateral relations. For anything specific you mentioned, I have no information to read out.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
谢谢。深圳卫视执新闻，9月14日，2025年国际议员。
Shenzhen TV, the 2025 Legislators Forum for Friendly Exchanges was held on Sunday in Urumqi. The forum issued the Urumqi Declaration. What's your comment on that? The 2025 Legislators Forum for Friendly Exchanges invited over 60 legislators and former legislators from over 40 countries. Participants had lively discussions on high-quality BRI cooperation, ecological conservation and green development, ethnic unity and common development. The dialogue with legislators of EU countries and Global South legislators dialogue were also held at the forum. The Urumqi Declaration was adopted at the forum as a summary of key viewpoints of participants. China welcomes more legislators from around the world to participate in the activities of the forum, deepen communication and exchanges, increase coordination and collaboration, and promote sustainable development. Next one, please.
It's
reported that on September 11th, a 34-year-old Navy police of ROK passed away for saving a Chinese man stranded at sea. At the incident, the ROK naval police gave his life jacket to this 70-year-old Chinese man and went missing and found dead. What's your comment? We mourned for his passing, for saving the Chinese national, and our heart goes out to his family members, and we appreciate his spirit of saving others at the sacrifice of his life. Representative of the China's embassy in the ROK attended the funeral. This June, a driver in China's Zhangjiajie city saved the safety of over 10 ROK passengers, and it is well received and reported by media outlets in the two countries. There are many stories like this between the two countries, and these are witness to the friendship and the deep bonds between the two peoples. Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Are there any more questions?
谢谢发言人。北京青年报记者提问：据报道，作为两国演习的一部分。
Beijing News Daily is reported that the Typhon mid-range missile system was deployed in Japan by the U.S. as part of the joint exercise between the two countries. China objected the system in the region, saying that it fuels an arms race. Do you have a comment? In disregard of China's grave concern, the U.S. and Japan went ahead with the deployment of the Typhon mid-range missile system in Japan under the pretext of joint military exercise. China strongly deplores and firmly opposes the move. The U.S. deployment of this system in Asian countries undermines the legitimate security interests of other countries, fuels the risk of regional arms race and military confrontation, and poses a substantial threat to regional strategic security. The U.S. and Japan need to earnestly respect other countries' security concerns and play a positive role for regional peace and stability with concrete actions, not the other way around. China urges the U.S. and Japan to heed the call from regional countries, correct the wrong move, and pull out the system as soon as possible. Due to its history of militarist aggression, Japan's military and security moves always draw close attention from its Asian neighbors and the international community. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the victory of Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the World Anti-Fascist War. We urge Japan to take a hard look at its history of aggression, follow the path of peaceful development, and act prudently in military and security areas, instead of assisting villainous acts and further losing the trust of its Asian neighbors and undermining regional peace and stability. Next one, please.
Any
more questions?
好，今天的记者会就到这里。
Then let's call it a day.